I cheated on my boyfriend. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years. We met in college, things were great at first, lots of fun, good sex, he's sweet and supportive. But lately things have felt off. He's been super busy with work/school, we barely see each other during the week, and when we do hang out it's mostly Netflix and crashing. The spark is fading, at least on my end, and I've been feeling lonely and unwanted even though he says he loves me. A few weeks ago I went out with some friends to a bar. I got pretty drunk, started chatting with this guy, 28M, who was funny, flirty, and actually paying attention to me in a way I hadn't felt in months. We ended up exchanging numbers as friends, but the texting quickly turned sexual. One night I was alone at home, BF was working late, and I invited him over. We hooked up. It was intense, passionate, no protection, stupid, I know, and it felt amazing in the moment, like I was desired again. The next day the high wore off and the guilt hit hard. I cried in the shower, deleted the messages, blocked the guy, and swore it would never happen again. But every time my boyfriend kisses me or tells me he loves me, I feel like a fraud. I keep replaying it, hating myself for betraying him when he's done nothing wrong. Part of me wants to confess so we can deal with it, maybe fix things or break up cleanly, but I'm terrified of hurting him and losing him forever. Another part wants to bury it and pretend it didn't happen, hoping the guilt fades. I know I fucked up big time. I don't want to be this person. Has anyone here cheated once, regretted it deeply, and either confessed or kept it secret? How did it turn out? Did the guilt ever go away? Should I tell him? I feel like I'm drowning in this and need some outside perspective.
How I found out my GF is cheating on me, but finding out I'm okay with it. Me, 23 UK, and my girlfriend, 22 UK, have been together for just under 3 years. We knew each other way before we got together and occasionally would sleep together on the odd occasion before getting together. When we first got together we were having fun, sex was a more regular thing and we were having a great time. Fast forward to 7 months ago, at this point sex is not as regular as it was. My job means I work from 2 p.m. up until 10 p.m. and she works at 6 a.m. and finishes at 2 p.m. but she works overtime a lot, so it's normal for her to finish at 4 p.m. meaning we never see each other. When I get back home she's either sleeping or she's staying at one of her family members. For reference I should say we lived together and that started about a year ago. We would both have conversations about it being annoying that we don't get to see much of each other in the week, so we plan to make the next few weekends purely for us. Usually I would go see my parents and as she will see her family members in the week she is usually home alone on weekends, so I said I would stay at home for the next few weekends to make up for the time we have missed together. The first weekend I stayed home we just relaxed and didn't do much. I wasn't expecting to have sex nor was I really wanting to, however I was a little shocked that we didn't, mainly because she made very subtle gestures and comments about it leading up to it over text and in person when I would come back from work if she was still awake. Of course she could have changed her mind and that's absolutely fine, hence why I didn't make any moves just in case. The second weekend she said that she wouldn't be home due to a change of plans with work, some sort of bonus if she worked over the weekend, and she said it would be stupid to turn it down, so she did it. I was okay with that and just spent the weekend by myself. She would leave at 6 a.m. on that Saturday. She said to me she should be back around 4 p.m. I thought it was strange that for an overtime shift she is working more than a standard shift, but I just brushed it aside and ignored it. It came to 5 p.m. and she wasn't home, no text, no call. I decided to call her, nothing. I called again, no answer but a text, which was one of them texts that can be sent automatically if you select it, saying that she's busy. I messaged her asking if everything's okay and like 10 minutes later she said she just finished but might not be home until later because she was going to see her parents. I thought that was strange, but I again just ignored it after a while. She came back at around 11:30 p.m. and I was already in bed at this point. I woke up to her coming back and I asked if everything's okay and she insisted everything was fine and that the shift for the next day has now been cancelled. I didn't get a proper explanation, but I just let it go since it seemed like it was stressing her out. She went to sleep and so did I. In the night I was getting woken up by the sound of a phone going off a few times, not a crazy amount but enough to wake me up. I sat up, grabbed my phone and saw it wasn't my phone going crazy, but it was hers. That's when I saw a load of messages coming through with someone with the name Jack work. She never mentioned a Jack from her work. I instantly started to have a look. I saw a bunch of messages of him talking about how sexy she is and how he needs to see her again. I scroll up to see the stuff she was sending him. At the time I was shocked and mad. I wanted to keep scrolling and find everything I could so I could bring it up to her when she woke up. So much stuff of her in lingerie that I never knew she had, stuff of her shaking her ass, all sorts of stuff. I was at a loss for words. I knew I had to look deeper. After going through contacts and other social medias, I didn't find anything else. I looked on her camera roll and right on the recents was her getting fucked by who I can only assume was Jack. I was so shocked and pissed off at first I couldn't bring myself to watch them. But then something changed. I felt instantly curious. I went downstairs and watched one of them. I then watched all of them. I found myself enjoying it. I had another look through the camera roll and saw the videos that she was sending to him on there as well. I didn't want to be gone too long for her to maybe wake up and realize her phone isn't there and I'm gone too, so I went back upstairs, cleared everything on the phone and went back to sleep. The next day she was acting weird, but because I knew why I just paid no attention to it and acted the same, and eventually she started acting normal again. She was on her phone more often and was definitely messaging him. When we was sat down, I was on my Xbox and she was sat on the sofa next to me. She got up and went in the kitchen to feed the cat. Very stupidly she left her phone. I grabbed it straight away, unlocked it and very quickly sent everything over to me. I then saved them to my camera roll and deleted the messages off her phone so she would never know I got them sent to me. Ever since then I'd used them as material and I love watching them. It never gets old for me. Even when we have had sex since, I think about her getting fucked by someone else. It really does something for me. I often think about telling her that I know, but I'm fine with it and seeing what we could do to explore that a bit more, but if I'm honest, I like that it's behind my back. I still haven't told her.